Beloved one, listen closely. There has been a quiet pressure around your heart, a weight you could not fully explain. It did not arrive loudly. It did not announce itself. It slipped in during ordinary days, gentle moments, even during prayer. And you wondered why your peace felt interrupted without reason. Archangel Michael says this was not random. What touched your calm was done subtly, in secret, and it was designed to make you question your own strength. But hear this clearly now, that hidden attack on your peace is about to end. I stand with sword of light drawn, not to frighten you, but to defend what belongs to you. Peace was assigned to you before you ever walked into this season. Rest was written into your destiny. Joy was not optional for your life. Yet something unseen tried to sit where it did not belong, whispering confusion, planting restlessness, disturbing your inner stillness. You felt it when silence no longer felt safe. You sensed it when calm moments were suddenly interrupted by unease. You noticed it when nothing was wrong, yet your spirit felt unsettled. This is how hidden things work. They do not shout. They erode. Archangel Michael says the reason this message found you is because the exposure phase has begun. What was done quietly is now being confronted openly. What tried to hide in emotional fog is now facing divine clarity. And what attempted to weaken you without your awareness is losing its permission to stay. Do not blame yourself. Do not replay old conversations. Do not question your faith. You were not failing. You were under pressure. And now that pressure is lifting, I want you to understand something important. The attack was not on your circumstances. It was not on your finances, your relationships, or your future directly. It was on your peace. Because peace is the gateway. When peace is disturbed, decisions become heavier. When peace is shaken, clarity blurs. And when peace is stolen, even blessings feel exhausting. But this ends now. Archangel Michael says, open this now, because opening is an act of agreement. When you open your heart to truth, deception loses its hiding place. When you open your spirit to light, shadows scatter. And when you open your awareness, what was done in secret cannot remain. Something has already shifted as you read this. The heaviness you carried that did not belong to you is being identified. The tension you normalized is being named. The quiet resistance against your rest is being removed. This is not emotional. This is spiritual order being restored. You may notice it first in small ways. A deeper breath. A calmer thought. A sudden sense of relief without explanation. These are not coincidences. These are signals. Heaven is intervening gently, precisely, and deliberately. Archangel Michael is not here to scare you. He is here to stand guard over your peace. You are not meant to live on edge. You are not meant to always be bracing for something. You are not meant to feel guarded in safe places. Peace is your inheritance. There was a moment recently when you thought, why can't I fully relax anymore? That question did not come from weakness. It came from awareness. Your spirit noticed the imbalance before your mind could explain it. Now comes the correction. The hidden thing loses power the moment it is revealed. And today, it is revealed. Archangel Michael says the ending of this attack does not require you to fight. It requires you to receive. Receive the restoration. Receive the calm. Receive the covering that is now active around you. You are being surrounded, not by noise but by protection. You are being shielded, not by force but by truth. You are being restored, not gradually, but decisively. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breathing slow. Let your heart unclench. This is not just a message. This is an intervention. And as this hidden attack ends, something else begins. A clarity you forgot you had. A calm you missed. A sense of being held rather than tested. What was done in secret against you cannot survive in the presence of light. Archangel Michael stands now, saying, your peace is no longer negotiable. Receive that. Let it settle. And stay with this moment, because what unfolds next will explain why this season had to break open exactly this way. Chosen one, take a deeper breath as you step into this next layer, because what is being revealed now explains why the hidden attack was allowed to linger for a moment, and why its ending is arriving with such authority. Archangel Michael speaks with clarity here. The delay was not denial, and the silence was not absence. What you experienced was timing, precision, and protection aligning at once. There was a reason the disturbance did not fully consume you. There was a reason you still functioned, still loved, still showed up, even while your peace felt fractured. Something stronger than the attack was already at work. You were being preserved while the unseen strategy against you was being mapped, measured, and contained. Understand this clearly. Not every spiritual pressure is meant to destroy you. Some are permitted to expose where you are strongest. The attack targeted your peace because peace is your signal that you are aligned. When you are calm, you hear better. When you are settled, you discern faster. When you are at rest, you move with authority. That is why the interference focused there. Archangel Michael says the one thing the hidden opposition did not expect was your endurance. Even while unsettled, you did not turn bitter. Even while tired, you did not shut down. Even while confused, you kept seeking truth. That alone disarmed more than you realize. Now listen carefully. The ending of this hidden attack is not quiet. It is subtle, but it is firm. You may notice sudden emotional clarity where there was fog. You may notice that certain thoughts no longer stick the way they used to. You may notice that situations that once triggered you now feel distant, almost irrelevant. This is not you becoming numb. This is you becoming free. There is also something important about your environment. Archangel Michael reveals that some of the pressure was reinforced by repetition. Same routines, same mental loops, same emotional responses. Nothing was wrong, but everything was familiar enough for the disturbance to hide in plain sight. That familiarity is breaking. Expect small but meaningful changes. A conversation shifts. A habit dissolves. A pattern loses momentum. You are not losing anything valuable. You are shedding what no longer has permission to touch you. Now, hear this part with discernment. Peace returning does not mean everything around you instantly becomes perfect. It means your inner authority is restored regardless of outer conditions. The difference is powerful. When peace leads, chaos cannot command your reactions. When peace stands guard, pressure has no leverage. Archangel Michael is emphasizing this because the next phase of your life requires calm decision-making. There are choices ahead, good ones, meaningful ones, that require clarity. The hidden attack tried to rush you, exhaust you, and make you doubt your instincts. That influence is being removed so your next steps are taken with confidence, not survival energy. If this message is resonating, this is the moment to anchor it. Engage with it. Interact with it. When you like this video, you are not just pressing a button, you are telling the algorithm and your own spirit that this word matters. When you share it, you become a messenger of peace for someone else who had been silently struggling. When you comment, even a simple word of agreement, you mark this moment as a turning point. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it now, because these messages are part of a larger unfolding, not isolated moments. Your presence here matters. Archangel Michael says community is part of your protection. Isolation weakens the discernment, but connection sharpens it. Staying connected to this channel keeps you aligned with messages meant to stabilize, strengthen, and guide you through this season. There is another layer being addressed right now: guilt. You may have blamed yourself for not handling things better. You may have thought you should be stronger, calmer, more grounded than you were. Release that. You were responding to pressure you could not see. Compassion toward yourself is part of the healing of your peace. Notice how your body responds as you listen. That softening is intentional. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your spirit is recognizing safety again. This is how restoration begins, not with noise, but with relief. Archangel Michael says something decisive is happening behind the scenes even now. Agreements that were never meant to last are dissolving. Influence that was unauthorized is being revoked. You do not need to confront anyone. You do not need to prove anything. The work is being handled beyond your effort. Remain open. Remain aware. And remain here with this message, because what comes next connects directly to the origin of the attack, and once you understand that, the peace returning to you will feel permanent, not temporary. Hold on, because the next revelation brings everything into focus. My beloved one, there is a reason your spirit feels unusually attentive right now. This is not curiosity. This is recognition. Archangel Michael says what you are about to understand explains where the hidden attack originated and why it focused so precisely on your inner peace rather than your outer life. Once this is revealed, confusion will no longer have a place to hide. The disturbance did not begin with a major event. It began with permission given unknowingly, not sinful permission, not intentional agreement, but emotional access. A moment where you were tired, overextended, or quietly overwhelmed, and something slipped through the cracks of exhaustion. That is how subtle opposition works. It waits for vulnerability, not failure. You were carrying more than you admitted. You were being strong longer than with healthy. You were holding things together while telling yourself, "I'm fine." Archangel Michael says the attack latched onto that unspoken weight. Not to punish you, but to drain you. Peace was targeted because peace restores strength faster than rest. Remove peace, and even rest feels incomplete. This is why the attack felt invisible. You assumed it was stress. You labeled it as mood. You rationalized it as responsibility. Meanwhile, your spirit knew something deeper was off. That inner knowing is what brought you here. Your discernment never left you. It was just clouded. Now comes the exposure. Archangel Michael reveals that the hidden work against your peace loses power the moment you stop internalizing what was never yours to carry. Some of the heaviness you felt was not produced by your own thoughts. Some of the pressure did not originate in your heart. You were empathically absorbing what others refused to process. You were carrying emotional residue that did not belong to you. It ends now. There is a reclaiming happening. Your emotional boundaries are being reinforced. Your spiritual perimeter is being restored. You may notice that certain people's moods no longer affect you the same way. You may notice you no longer feel responsible for fixing everything. This is not detachment. This is alignment. Archangel Michael says peace is returning in layers. First awareness, then release, then authority. You are moving from endurance to command. The season of just getting through is closing. A season of grounded strength is opening. Listen carefully to this truth. You did not imagine the attack. and you are not imagining its end. What was done quietly is being undone deliberately. What operated in secrecy is being brought into light, not to scare you, but to free you. There is also restoration of trust happening. Trust in your own instincts. Trust in your timing. Trust in your ability to sense when something is off. The attack tried to make you doubt yourself. A doubt is dissolving. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your mind now. Thoughts that once spiraled will lose momentum. Inner noise will settle faster. Silence will feel safe again. And when peace returns, you will recognize it not as absence of problems, but as presence of authority. This is where many people would stop, but this message goes deeper. Because your peace returning is not just for you. It is preparation. There are others who will be drawn to your calm, your clarity, your grounded presence. Your restored peace becomes a refuge for those who are still searching for theirs. And this is where obedience matters. Type "I receive divine peace" in the comments if this is speaking directly to your spirit. Lesson code 444 has just been released. This message is not ending here because the assignment connected to it is still unfolding. As Archangel Michael covers you, there is also a call being extended to help carry this light further than your own life. When you support this work, you are not supporting a channel, you are partnering with heaven's movement. I hear the Lord saying, when you sow into this word, you become a carrier of peace for those who have never felt it. Just as hidden attacks operate in secret, transformation spreads quietly through obedience. Your support becomes oil poured into a lamp that lights rooms you may never enter. Scripture declares that when seed is released, harvest follows, not just for the sower, but for generations they will never meet. This is that moment. I am speaking to those who feel the stirring now. This is your invitation. When you give through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the description, you are responding to a divine nudge, not making a donation. Heaven sees it as alignment. Heaven marks it as obedience. I declare over every giver that peace will multiply in your house, clarity will guard your decisions, and provision will meet you before you ask. What you release in faith will return to you pressed down, flowing over, and arriving on time. Do it now. Act while the door is open. Partner with this assignment and watch how swiftly peace settles permanently over your life. Beloved soul, as this message continues to unfold, something deeper is being adjusted within you. Archangel Michael says the restoration of your peace is not only about removing what attacked you, but about strengthening what remains. This is the phase where stability replaces survival, and confidence replaces constant vigilance. There was a time when you had to stay alert just to feel safe. You learned to read between lines, to sense shifts in energy, to prepare for emotional impact before it arrived. That awareness helped you endure, but it was never meant to be your permanent posture. You were not created to live guarded. You were created to live grounded. Archangel Michael reveals that the hidden attack trained your nervous system to expect disruption. Even when things were calm, part of you stayed ready for something to go wrong. That subtle readiness is now being released. Your body is learning a new language, the language of safety, rest, and trust. This is why peace returning may feel unfamiliar at first. Not wrong, just new. You may catch yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop. You may wonder why you feel lighter and then question it. That questioning is not doubt. It is adjustment. You are recalibrating to a higher baseline of peace. Do not rush this process. Let it settle. Archangel Michael says something else is being restored alongside your peace, your sense of timing. During the attack, everything felt urgent. Decisions felt pressured. Even rest felt like something you had to earn. That false urgency is dissolving. You no longer need to hurry to prove anything. What is meant for you will not require panic. You are entering a rhythm where things unfold with clarity rather than force. Where answers come without exhaustion. Where opportunities feel aligned instead of demanding. This rhythm is protected. There is also a boundary, being reinforced now, between what you feel and what you absorb. You are becoming more aware of what is yours and what is not. Emotional clarity is sharpening. You will find it easier to disengage from drama without guilt. Easier to say no without explanation. Easier to choose rest without justification. This is not withdrawal. This is wisdom. Archangel Michael says the hidden attack tried to blur your identity by overwhelming your senses. When peace is disturbed long enough, people forget who they are outside of coping. That fog is lifting. You are remembering yourself again, not who you had to be to survive, but who you are when you are whole. Notice how your thoughts are changing. You are less reactive, more observant, less consumed by what others think, more anchored in what you know. This is the fruit of peace returning with authority. There is also forgiveness happening, but not in the way you expect. You are not being asked to excuse what hurt you. You are being released from carrying it. Forgiveness here is not about reconciling with the past. It is about reclaiming your energy from it. Archangel Michael says some memories will lose their emotional charge. You will remember without reliving. That is healing. That is freedom. As this part of the message unfolds, understand this clearly. The ending of the hidden attack does not mean you will never face pressure again. It means pressure will no longer define you. It will no longer live inside you. It will pass through without taking residence. You are learning how to stand without bracing, how to breathe without checking for danger, how to trust silence again. There is a quiet confidence emerging. Not loud, not performative. Just steady. This confidence does not need validation. It does not argue. It simply knows. Archangel Michael is emphasizing consistency now. Peace is not a moment. It is a posture. Guard it gently. Not with fear, but with awareness. Choose environments that honor it. Choose conversations that respect it. Choose habits that sustain it. You will notice that what once drained you will now feel optional. You are no longer obligated to explain your boundaries. Peace itself becomes your explanation. Something else is shifting as well. Your intuition is becoming clear because it is no longer competing with anxiety. When the noise quiets, guidance becomes obvious. Trust what feels calm, not what feels urgent. This is how you move forward now. Archangel Michael says this restoration is preparing you for expansion. Expansion of responsibility, influence, or purpose. But this time, without losing yourself in the process. Peace will go with you. It will not be left behind. Stay present with this unfolding. The next layer will reveal why this season of peace is directly connected to something new entering your life. Something that requires you to be steady, centered, and fully yourself. Precious one, as you move deeper into this unfolding, Archangel Michael draws your attention to something subtle yet powerful that is happening beneath the surface. Peace returning is not only calming your present, it is rewriting your expectations of the future. You are no longer bracing for what might go wrong. You are beginning to anticipate what can finally go right. There was a season when hope felt risky. You learned to lower expectations so disappointment would hurt less. You told yourself you were being realistic, but in truth, you were protecting yourself. Archangel Michael says that survival strategy is now being gently dismantled. You no longer need to shrink your hope to stay safe. This is where trust begins again. Not blind trust, not naive optimism, but grounded trust built on discernment, experience, and restoration. Your peace is becoming the foundation from which you dream again. And this matters, because what is coming into your life requires openness, not armor. The hidden attack on your peace trained you to expect interruption. Even good moments felt temporary. You enjoyed them cautiously, waiting for disruption. That mindset is shifting. You are learning how to stay present without scanning for threats. Joy is becoming sustainable. Archangel Michael reveals that the shift will show up in your decisions. You will notice you are no longer choosing based on fear of loss. You are choosing based on alignment. What feels calm will attract you more than what feels impressive. What feels steady will matter more than what feels urgent. This is wisdom returning. There is also healing in how you view yourself. During the attack, you may have labeled yourself as too sensitive, too tired, or too much. Those labels were never true. They were symptoms of overload, not flaws in your character. As peace restores, self-judgment loosens its grip. You are rediscovering compassion for yourself. You speak to yourself differently now, with patience, with kindness, with understanding. That inner dialogue is a sign of authority returning to its rightful place. Archangel Michael says authority does not always feel powerful. Sometimes it feels calm. Sometimes it feels quiet. Sometimes it feels like saying no without guilt, or resting without apology. These are not small things. They are markers of healing. There is also something important about your emotional memory. You are no longer replaying old scenarios as often. When they surface, they do not hijack your nervous system. This is because your body is learning that the danger has passed. Safety is being reestablished at a cellular level. You may find yourself enjoying simple moments more deeply. A quiet morning, a familiar song, a moment of laughter that feels unforced. These are not distractions. They are confirmations. Peace is taking root. Archangel Michael is also strengthening your discernment for the future. You will sense sooner when something is misaligned. You will recognize pressure before it settles. You will feel empowered to step back early rather than pushing through until exhaustion. This is not avoidance. This is maturity. You are learning that not every challenge is yours to carry. As this part of the journey continues, there may be invitations, projects, conversations, or opportunities that once would have excited you but now feel draining. Trust that shift. Your spirit is prioritizing sustainability over stimulation. What costs you peace will no longer impress you. This is how alignment protects you. There is also a renewal of faith happening, but not in a dramatic way. It is quieter, steadier, less emotional, more anchored. You are trusting again, not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer alone inside yourself. Archangel Michael says you are becoming a safe place for yourself. That is powerful. From this place, your relationships will change. Some will deepen because you show up whole. Others may naturally distance because the dynamic no longer fits. Let this happen without resistance. Peace attracts what honors it. Notice how you are no longer chasing closure. You are content with clarity. You are no longer demanding explanations. You are comfortable with truth revealed through behavior. This is discernment refined by peace. As you integrate this new rhythm, remember this. Restoration is not about becoming someone new. It is about returning to who you were before you had to protect yourself so fiercely. That person is still here. Stronger now. Wiser now. Calmer now. Archangel Michael says this foundation of peace is necessary for what comes next. There is movement ahead. Forward motion that requires steadiness, not urgency. Confidence, not control. Trust, not tension. Stay present. Stay open. And allow this peace to continue shaping how you think, choose, and move. The next unfolding will reveal how this restored calm becomes the doorway to something you have been quietly prepared for all along. Beloved one, as this message continues to unfold, Archangel Michael draws your focus to a decisive turning that is happening right now. This is the moment where peace is no longer something you feel occasionally. It becomes something you carry intentionally. The restoration you have experienced is stabilizing, and with its stability comes a new level of responsibility over your inner world. There was a time when peace felt dependent on circumstances. If things went well, you felt calm. If things shifted unexpectedly, you felt shaken. Archangel Michael says that dependency has been broken. Peace is no longer reacting to what happens around you. It is now anchored within you. This is a powerful transition because it means external chaos can no longer dictate your internal state. You are learning how to pause before responding, how to listen without absorbing, how to observe without internalizing. These are not passive traits. They are marks of spiritual authority. Calm does not mean weak. Calm means center. The hidden attack attempted to keep you emotionally reactive because reaction drains clarity. But now, clarity is returning in real time. You are recognizing patterns sooner. You are catching yourself before overextending. You are choosing rest before exhaustion sets in. This is not coincidence. This is wisdom activated. Archangel Michael says something else is shifting. Your relationship with control. During the attack, you may have tried to manage outcomes more tightly, hoping that control would create safety. That tension is loosening. You are realizing that peace does not come from controlling everything. It comes from trusting what you are guided to do and releasing what is not yours to manage. This release is creating space. Space to think clearly. Space to feel honestly. Space to hear guidance without interference. As this space opens, you may feel drawn to simplify. Simplify commitments. Simplify expectations. Simplify conversations. This is not regression. This is refinement. You are making room for what aligns with your restored peace. Archangel Michael also speaks of discernment in motion. You are no longer waiting until things overwhelm you to step back. You are learning to notice early signals, a subtle discomfort, a sense of misalignment, a quiet inner no. These signals are protective, not limiting. Honor them. You may notice that you are less interested in explaining yourself, less concerned with being misunderstood. Peace gives you permission to let others think what they will while you remain anchored in what you know. That confidence is growing. There is also healing in your emotional stamina. Situations that once drained you for days may now pass through you in hours. Recovery is faster. Resilience is stronger. This does not mean you feel less. It means you process better. Archangel Michael says this is the fruit of restoration. When peace is guarded, energy is preserved. And when energy is preserved, life feels manageable again. And now, pause with me here for a moment. If this message is helping you feel seen, grounded, or clearer, take a second to engage with it. Like this video as an act of agreement. Share it with someone who may be silently struggling with their own peace. Leave a comment, even a simple word, to mark this moment for yourself. And if you have not subscribed yet, do so now. Staying connected keeps you aligned with messages that continue to build clarity and stability over time. Archangel Michael emphasizes that staying connected is not about numbers, it is about consistency. When truth appears regularly in your life, confusion loses its foothold. Community reinforces peace. As we move deeper, notice how your reactions are changing. You are less defensive, less rushed, less apologetic for needing space. These shifts may seem small, but they signal a major internal realignment. You are no longer living from depletion. You are living from discernment. There is also something important about your future orientation. You are no longer projecting worst-case scenarios as easily. Your mind is learning to rest in possibility rather than threat. This does not make you careless. It makes you hopeful without pressure. Archangel Michael says hope anchored in peace is powerful. It does not demand outcomes. It trusts process. You may also notice an increase in gratitude, not forced gratitude, but natural appreciation. Small things feel meaningful again. Moments feel fuller. This is a sign that your nervous system is no longer stuck in survival mode. As peace stabilizes, your intuition becomes more reliable. You will sense when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to remain silent. His timing is being refined now. Trust it. Before this message continues further, stay with it. What comes next reveals how this restored peace positions you for a specific breakthrough, one that requires you to be calm, clear, and fully present to recognize it when it appears. Hold on, because this next shift connects everything you have experienced to what is about to unfold. Beloved soul, there is a deep stillness forming around you now, and Archangel Michael wants you to recognize it for what it truly is. This is not a pause caused by uncertainty. This is a pause created by alignment. When peace becomes stable, movement slows just enough for precision to take over. You are no longer rushing because you are no longer running from anything. In earlier seasons, forward motion felt urgent. You moved because standing still felt unsafe. Silence felt uncomfortable. Waiting felt like loss. But now, waiting feels different. It feels intentional. It feels protected. It feels like something is being arranged rather than delayed. Archangel Michael says this stillness is strategic. While you rest internally, unseen structures are being repositioned around you. Conversations are being prepared before you ever entered them. Opportunities are aligning without strain. Resistance that once met you at every turn is quietly dissolving. This is why you may feel less pressure to push. Your spirit knows it is no longer responsible for forcing outcomes. There is also a refinement happening in how you recognize truth. You are less moved by urgency and more guided by resonance. What is meant for you feels calm, even when it stretches you. What is not meant for you feels loud, even when it looks appealing. This clarity is not accidental. It is the result of peace becoming your filter. Archangel Michael reveals that one of the greatest victories over the hidden attack is this: it no longer dictates your pace. You are moving from reaction to response, from defense to discernment, from survival to stewardship. Stewardship of your time, stewardship of your energy, stewardship of your emotional space. You are realizing that your peace is not fragile. It is resilient. It does not shatter when challenged. It holds when tested. There may be moments now when others seem rushed, anxious, or unsettled around you. Their urgency will no longer pull you in. This does not make you disconnected. It makes you anchored. You can be present without being consumed. compassionate without being drained. Archangel Michael says this anchoring is essential because something new is approaching that requires clarity more than effort. You will recognize it not by excitement alone, but by calm assurance. There will be no confusion attached to it, no inner resistance, no sense of compromise. This is how peace confirms alignment. You may also notice that you are becoming more honest with yourself. You are no longer ignoring discomfort just to keep things smooth. You are honoring truth even when it requires adjustment. This honesty is gentle, not harsh. It corrects without condemning. There is healing in that. A hidden attack thrived on internal conflict, on second guessing, an emotional overload. That environment no longer exists. Peace has changed the conditions. What once survived in chaos cannot survive in clarity. Archangel Michael says your inner world is now ordered. Thoughts are settling into place. Emotions are finding their rightful expression. You are not suppressing what you feel. You are processing it without losing yourself in it. This balance is powerful. As peace stabilizes further, your confidence will become quieter but stronger. You will no longer need external validation to confirm your worth or your direction. You will feel secure making decisions that others may not immediately understand. That security comes from alignment, not approval. There is also a restoration of joy that is unfolding gently. Not the loud, fleeting kind, but a steady sense of contentment. You will catch yourself smiling without reason, feeling grateful without effort. These are signs that your inner environment is healthy again. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this peace is not temporary relief. It is a new foundation, and foundations are built to carry weight. You are being prepared to hold more responsibility, more influence, more opportunity, without losing yourself in the process. This preparation is subtle because it must be sustainable. You may feel called to reassess certain goals, not because they are wrong, but because they were formed in a season of strain. As peace leads, your desires may refine. What once felt urgent may feel unnecessary. What once felt distant may feel possible. Trust this refinement. It is guided. There is also a strengthening of boundaries happening naturally. You are no longer explaining why you need rest. You are no longer negotiating your limits. Peace has given you permission to protect what matters without guilt. Archangel Michael says guilt was never meant to be your motivator. Peace is. As you continue forward, remain attentive to what feels calm rather than what feels loud. Remain open to guidance that arrives quietly. Remain grounded in the knowledge that you are no longer under attack. You are under protection. The stillness you feel now is not emptiness. It is readiness. And as this unfolds further, the next revelation will show you how this restored peace becomes the key that unlocks a door you did not force, did not chase, and did not lose sleep over, but one that opens because you were finally still enough to walk through it. My beloved child, what you are sensing now is not imagination. Archangel Michael says a door has quietly unlocked in the spirit, and it unlocked not because you forced it, but because you finally stood in peace long enough for it to recognize you. This is the reward of restoration. This is what happens when calm replaces chaos and clarity replaces pressure. For a long time, access was blocked not by opposition alone, but by noise. Your inner world was too crowded for the invitation to be heard clearly. But now, the space has been made. Silence has become safe again. And in that stillness, direction is emerging. This door is connected to something that once felt delayed. Not denied. Delayed. There were moments you wondered if you had missed your timing, if the opportunity had passed, or if you misunderstood what you were meant to step into. Archangel Michael says nothing was missed. Timing was protected. You were being prepared to enter without losing yourself. What is opening now requires a peaceful mind. If you had entered earlier, it would have cost you rest. It would have pulled you back into striving. That is why the hidden attack on your peace had to mend first. You could not move forward carrying that weight. This next season will feel different from past advancements. It will not demand exhaustion. It will not pressure you to prove anything. It will not rush you. It will invite you. And you will recognize the invitation by how calm it feels. Archangel Michael reveals that this door leads to expansion, but not expansion that overwhelms. Expansion that fits. You will not have to stretch yourself unnaturally. You will not have to betray your values. You will not have to sacrifice peace to succeed. This is alignment-based growth. Pay attention to what begins to surface in your thoughts now. Ideas that feel gentle but persistent. Desires that return without anxiety attached. Conversations that seem to align naturally. These are signals. The path ahead will not be confusing. It will feel clear, even if it feels new. There is also healing happening around disappointment. Past letdowns no longer sting the way they used to. Not because they did not matter, but because they no longer define you. Peace have reframed your memory. You can look back without shrinking. That means you are ready to move forward without fear. Archangel Michael says one of the clearest signs that the hidden attack is fully broken is this. You are no longer afraid of good things lasting. You are no longer waiting for peace to be interrupted. You are allowing yourself to settle into it. This is a spiritual milestone. You are stepping into a phase where consistency replaces cycles, where stability replaces unpredictability, where trust replaces tension. This does not mean challenges disappear. It means challenges no longer destabilize you. Notice how your inner voice has changed. It is quieter but firmer. It no longer panics. It guides. That voice is trustworthy again. Now, before this moment passes, anchor it. Type "I walk in divine calm" in the comments if this resonates deeply with you. Blessing code 818 has just been released. As this blessing activates, Archangel Michael also extends an invitation beyond your own life. What you are receiving is not meant to stop with you. Peace multiplies when it is shared. Light increases when it is supported. This is where obedience meets impact. I hear the Lord say, those who sow into this word become carriers of peace to places they will never physically enter. When you support this mission, you are not funding content. You are fueling access. Your obedience becomes oil that keeps this light burning for souls who are still under hidden pressure and do not yet have language for it. This is your moment to act. When you give through Super Thanks, become a member, or sow through the PayPal link in the description. Heaven marks it as partnership. Scripture declares that seed sown in good soil produces harvest in its season. This is good soil. This is living ground. I speak blessing over every giver now. May peace guard your home. May clarity guide your decisions. May provision meet you before you ask. What you release in faith will return multiplied, stable, and timely. Do it now. Respond while the door is open. Align your action with what your spirit already knows. Beloved one, now that the door has opened, Archangel Michael wants you to understand what happens after access is granted. Many people think the miracle is the opening itself, but the greater work happens in the walking through. Peace is no longer just surrounding you. It is now guiding your steps. This is where alignment turns into movement. You may notice that things begin to organize themselves without force. Situations that once felt tangled start to resolve naturally. Conversations flow more easily. Decisions feel simpler. This is not because life has suddenly become easy, but because resistance hath been removed from within you. When inner resistance dissolves, outer obstacles lose their grip. Archangel Michael says you are entering a season where clarity replaces constant questioning. You are no longer asking what is wrong. You are asking what is next. That shift alone changes everything. It moves you from defense into direction. There is also restoration of trust in your own pace. You are no longer comparing your journey to others. You are no longer measuring your progress by external timelines. You are moving according to inner confirmation. This makes your steps steady rather than rushed. A hidden attack once tried to fragment your focus. It pulled your attention in too many directions, making everything feel urgent and unfinished. That fragmentation is healing. Your focus is becoming unified. When you decide to do something, you are present. When you rest, you are fully resting. This wholeness is a sign of peace maturing. Archangel Michael reveals that your discernment is now operating without distortion. You can sense what belongs to you and what does not with greater ease. You are no longer pulled by obligation or guilt. You are led by alignment. This protects your energy and sharpens your purpose. You may also feel less compelled to explain your choices. You trust yourself enough to let your life speak for itself. That quiet confidence is new, but it is authentic. It does not seek approval. It seeks integrity. As you walk forward, notice how challenges present themselves differently. They no longer feel threatening. They feel informational. Instead of overwhelming you, they show you where adjustment is needed. This is the difference peace makes. It turns obstacles into guidance rather than stress. Archangel Michael says you are learning how to respond rather than react. Response is intentional. Reaction is automatic. You are no longer living on autopilot. You are aware, grounded, and present in your choices. There is also healing in how you relate to uncertainty. Before, not knowing felt unsafe. Now, not knowing feels open. You trust that clarity will come when needed. You are comfortable taking one step at a time. This patience is not passive. It is confident. You may notice that some doors close quietly now, without drama, without loss, without regret. That is because they are no longer needed. Peace has clarified your direction so thoroughly that misalignment simply falls away. Archangel Michael wants you to recognize that this phase is about integration. You are integrating lessons without carrying wounds. You are integrating growth without exhaustion. You are integrating strength without hardness. This balance is rare, and it is protected. There is also an invitation to deepen your relationship with silence. Silence is no longer empty for you. It is informative. It restores you. It grounds you. In silence, you hear guidance clearly. You sense what to nurture and what to release. As peace continues to lead, you may feel drawn to simplify even further. Not because you lack ambition, but because clarity values quality over quantity. You want depth, not distraction. Meaning, not noise. This is refinement, not reduction. Archangel Michael says refinement prepares you for sustainability. What is coming is not a brief moment. It is a long-term unfolding, and it requires a steady heart. You are also becoming more aware of how your presence affects others. Your calm steadies rooms. Your clarity brings relief. Your groundedness invites trust. This is not something you force. It flows naturally from peace within you. Do not underestimate this influence. You do not need to speak loudly to make impact. Your alignment communicates more than words ever could. As you continue forward, remember this truth: peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the presence of order, and order is now established within you. Archangel Michael says you are walking correctly. Even when the path feels unfamiliar, you are aligned. Even when progress feels quiet, it is real. Trust the steadiness. Trust the clarity. Trust the peace that is now directing your steps. What unfolds next will require this grounded confidence, because it will ask you to choose, not from fear, not from urgency, but from truth. And you will be ready. Beloved one, as you continue walking forward under this restored covering, Archangel Michael speaks with precision about a choice that is forming quietly within you. This choice is not loud. It is not dramatic, but it is defining. Peace has brought you to a crossroads where intention matters more than effort, and alignment matters more than speed. In earlier seasons, choices were often made under pressure. You chose what relieved stress fastest. You chose what avoided conflict. You chose what felt safest in the moment. That was survival wisdom, and it carried you through. But now, survival is no longer your operating system. Peace has given you the luxury of discernment. This means your decisions are slowing down, not because you are unsure, but because you are finally listening. You are checking in with your spirit before committing. You are asking not just, can I do this, but should I? That question alone protects your future. Archangel Michael says this is where many people rush and lose their peace again. They feel better and immediately fill the space. But you are being guided differently. You are learning to hold space without filling it impulsively. This restraint is not fear. It is wisdom. There is a refinement happening in your priorities. Things that once demanded your attention are losing urgency. Not because they are unimportant, but because they are no longer central. You are becoming selective with your yes. That selectivity is sacred. Notice how your body responds when you consider certain commitments. Calm is your confirmation now. Tension is your signal to pause. You no longer override these signals. You respect them. This is peace functioning as guidance. Archangel Michael reveals that this discernment will soon protect you from unnecessary entanglements. Situations that would have drained you before will now be bypassed without effort. You will sense misalignment early and step away without guilt. That is growth. There is also something powerful happening in how you relate to time. You are no longer racing it. You trust it. You understand now that what is meant for you arrives without panic. This trust allows you to be present rather than preoccupied. As peace leads your decisions, your confidence becomes quieter but firmer. You do not need constant reassurance. You do not need to explain yourself repeatedly. You move with internal agreement. That agreement is stabilizing. Archangel Michael says your inner authority is maturing. Authority does not argue. It does not rush. It does not compete. It knows. And you are beginning to know. This is also a season where your voice matters more than you realize. When you speak now, people listen differently. Not because you are louder, but because you are grounded. Words spoken from peace carry weight. They land. You may notice that conversations shift when you enter them. Tension lowers. Clarity increases. This is not accidental. Peace is working through you, not just for you. Now pause with me for a moment. If this message is helping you see your life more clearly, engage with it. Like this video to anchor this word in your spirit. Share it with someone who may be standing at a similar crossroads. leave a comment to mark this season of discernment for yourself. And if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe now. Staying connected keeps you aligned with messages that continue to strengthen your clarity and peace. Archangel Michael emphasizes that consistency matters here. When truth feeds you regularly, confusion cannot return easily. Community supports discernment. As this part unfolds, there is also a gentle warning, not of danger, but of distraction. Peace can be lost not only through pressure, but through overcommitment. You do not need to fill every open space. Silence is productive for you now. Stillness informs your next step. Hold on to that. Before you move too quickly, stay present. There is one more layer of clarity coming that will connect this season of discernment to a larger purpose unfolding in your life. Wait for it. This next revelation will bring everything together in a way that makes sense of why peace had to be restored before anything else could move forward. Beloved one, as you move deeper into this unfolding, Archangel Michael brings your attention to something profound that is happening quietly within you. Peace has done its work of clearing, grounding, and stabilizing, and now it is revealing purpose with clarity. This is the stage where understanding replaces confusion, and meaning replaces endurance. For a long time, you asked questions without answers. You wondered why certain experiences stretched longer than expected, why clarity arrived slowly, and why your path felt heavier than it seemed for others. Archangel Michael says those questions were not ignored. They were reserved for a moment when you would be calm enough to receive the truth without pain. Here is that truth. The hidden attack on your peace was not only about disruption. It was about delay. Not delay to stop you, but delay to mature you. What is unfolding next in your life requires emotional steadiness, spiritual discernment, and inner authority. Without peace, those qualities cannot be sustained. You are being prepared for something that could not be entered prematurely. Now that preparation is complete, you are beginning to see how past challenges shaped your perception, strengthened your intuition, and refined your boundaries. Nothing was wasted. What once felt like unnecessary struggle now reveals itself as alignment training. You learned how to listen inwardly. You learned how to wait without collapsing. You learned how to remain kind without losing yourself. These are not small lessons. They are foundational. Archangel Michael says your purpose in this next season is not defined by effort, but by presence. You are not meant to strive endlessly. You are meant to move with intention. Your calm is not accidental. It is required. People will be drawn not just to what you do, but to how you carry yourself while doing it. There is a calling on your life that involves stability. Others will feel safe around you. Others will think more clearly in your presence. Others will feel permission to slow down when they are near you. This influence is quiet, but it is powerful. You may notice that you are less reactive to opinions now. Praise does not inflate you. Criticism does not crush you. This neutrality is not indifference. It is balance. Balance allows you to remain rooted in truth rather than swayed by perception. Archangel Michael reveals that this balance is essential for what comes next, because your decisions will have ripple effects beyond yourself. Your peace protects not only you, but those connected to you. When you are grounded, your environment stabilizes. This is why the attack focused on your inner world, and this is why its ending is so significant. There is also a deepening of trust happening between you and divine guidance. You are no longer asking for signs anxiously. You recognize direction naturally. When something is right, it settles. When something is wrong, it unsettles. You trust this now. As peace integrates fully, Your vision becomes clearer. You are able to see long-term rather than reacting to short-term pressure. You are thinking in seasons, not moments. This perspective shift changes how you plan, how you invest your energy, and how you define success. Archangel Michael says success for you will no longer be measured by speed or applause. It will be measured by sustainability and alignment. If it costs your peace, it is no longer considered progress. This value system will guide you well. There may be moments where you feel slightly out of sync with people who are still rushing, striving, or chasing validation. Do not interpret this as distance. It is differentiation. You are moving at a pace that honors your restoration. You are also becoming more selective with emotional intimacy. You no longer share your inner world with everyone. This is not isolation. It is wisdom. Your peace has taught you discernment about where your energy is safe. Archangel Michael wants you to know that this discernment will protect your future relationships, not limit them. You will connect deeply with those who honor your calm, not challenge it unnecessarily. As this part of the journey unfolds, you may feel a growing sense of quiet confidence. Not excitement that spikes and crashes, but assurance that remains. This assurance is your confirmation that you are aligned. Nothing is missing. Nothing is late. Nothing has gone. Peace has positioned you exactly where you need to be. And as you remain in this grounded state, one final unfolding awaits, one that seals this restoration, releases a final blessing, and confirms that what was done in secret against you has not only ended, but hath been fully overturned. Stay present, because the completion of this message carries authority, closure, and activation. My beloved child, this is the moment of sealing. Archangel Michael stands with clarity and authority, not to warn you, but to confirm what has already been completed. What was hidden against you has not only ended, it has been overturned, dismantled, and replaced with divine order. This is not recovery. This is victory. There is a difference, and your spirit knows it. Recovery still remembers the wound. Victory remembers the lesson and walks free. And what you are stepping into now is freedom with awareness, peace with authority, and clarity without fear. The cycle that tried to repeat itself quietly has been broken loudly in the spirit, even if the world around you does not yet see it. Archangel Michael says the reason you feel steady instead of emotional is because this ending is permanent. Temporary relief excites the emotions. Permanent resolution calms the soul. You are calm because nothing is chasing you anymore. You are at rest because nothing is hiding in the shadows of your inner world. The door that opened earlier is now secured behind you. Not to trap you, but to protect you. You will not be pulled back into confusion. You will not be drawn again into unnecessary struggle. You have crossed a threshold, and thresholds do not move backward. This is why your discernment feels sharper than ever. You sense things before they form. You recognize misalignment before it demands energy. You choose peace instinctively now. That instinct is your shield. Archangel Michael says from this point forward, your peace will expose anything that does not belong. You will not need confrontation. You will not need explanation. Misalignment will remove itself because it cannot coexist with your calm. There is also a restoration of confidence that feels different from before. It is not loud. It is not defensive. It does not prove. It simply stands. This confidence comes from knowing you survived what you did not understand at the time and emerged with clarity instead of bitterness. That alone marks you. You are no longer asking why it happened. You are recognizing what it produced. Wisdom, discernment, authority, stillness. These are not small outcomes. They are the tools required for the next chapter of your life. Archangel Michael declares that your future will no longer be interrupted by hidden interference. What approaches you now must come openly, and anything that comes openly can be evaluated clearly. You are no longer vulnerable to what operates in secrecy. Let that settle. The peace you feel now is not fragile. It is guarded. It has weight. It has presence. You can carry responsibility without losing rest. You can engage deeply without becoming depleted. You can move forward without leaving yourself behind. This is completion. And now, seal it with intention. Type "I am sealed in peace" in the comments if you receive this confirmation. Blessing code 1212 is now activated over your life. As this seal settles, Archangel Michael extends one final instruction, not as a suggestion, but as a divine command to those who feel it stirring in their spirit. What you have received must continue flowing. I hear the Lord say, "Those who stand in peace must help others find it." This word did not reach you by accident. It arrived because you are strong enough to carry it forward. When you support this mission, you are not giving to a person. You are partnering with a movement that breaks hidden burdens off lives. This is first person now. I am asking you to act. When you release seed through Super Thanks, step into membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description, you are responding to a prophetic moment. Scripture declares that those who sow into good ground will reap in due season. This ground is alive. This assignment is active. I bless every giver now. May peace multiply in your home. May clarity guard your steps. May provision rise to meet you without struggle. What you release in obedience will return as stability, favor, and rest. Do it now. Obey the nudge. Partner with this work and let your obedience become the reason someone else finally finds peace.